The vast emptiness of space was suddenly filled with a message. It was short, clear, and shocking. Earth, a small blue planet in a far corner of the galaxy, had just told the entire galactic empire to stay away. On that day, July 7th, 2150, the United Earth government sent out a powerful broadcast. It reached every corner of the known universe. The message was simple. The Sol system is now off-limits to all alien species. No entry allowed. This is not a request. It is an order. In the grand halls of the galactic capital, alien leaders stared at each other in disbelief. Earth, that tiny, backward planet. How dare they? The Galactic Emperor, a tall, blue-skinned being with 4 arms, laughed when he first heard the news. But his laughter quickly died when his advisors confirmed the message was real. Back on Earth, in the underground chambers of the Global Defense Center, human leaders watched and waited. General Sarah Chen, head of Earth's military forces, stood tall and proud. "It's done," she said, her voice firm. "Now we wait." President Alejandro Rodriguez nodded, his eyes fixed on the large screen showing Earth's solar system. "May our ancestors guide us," he whispered. Across the galaxy, on millions of planets, billions of alien beings heard Earth's message. Some laughed. Some got angry. Some were just confused. But everyone talked about it. On the desert world of Zargax, tentacled creatures gathered around their communication devices, their eyes wide with surprise. "Earth, isn't that the planet that still uses fossil fuels?" one asked. In the crystal cities of Luminara, light-based beings flickered with curiosity. "I thought humans couldn't even travel to their own moon anymore," one shimmered to another. The news spread fast. Soon, it was the only thing anyone in the galaxy could talk about. Even on distant space stations and lonely outposts, beings of all shapes and sizes wondered, what was Earth thinking? In the galactic capital, the Emperor called an emergency meeting. The great hall filled with representatives from 1,000 worlds. They floated, crawled, and walked to their seats, a colorful mix of life from across the stars. Silence. The Emperor boomed, his voice echoing through the hall. The noise died down. "We have all heard this. This joke from Earth," he said, waving one of his 4 arms dismissively. "Clearly, these humans have lost their minds." Laughter rippled through the crowd. The Emperor smiled, but his eyes were hard. "We must remind Earth of its place," he continued. "I will send my best diplomats. They will explain to these humans the foolishness of their actions." As the Emperor spoke, a small green alien in the back of the hall frowned. Ambassador Xlik of the Trixian Empire knew something the others didn't. "Earth has changed," he whispered to himself. "They are not the same humans we knew." Meanwhile, on Earth, preparations were underway. In secret bases around the world, advanced ships and weapons stood ready. These were not the primitive rockets of old. These were ships that could bend space itself. In orbit around Earth, hidden satellites waited silently. They looked simple, but inside them was technology beyond anything the Galactic Empire had ever seen. General Chen walked through one of these bases, inspecting the troops and equipment. A young soldier stopped her. "Ma'am," he said, his voice shaking slightly, "do you think we can really stand against the whole galaxy?" Chen looked at him, her eyes fierce and proud. "Soldier," she said, "we've been preparing for this day for decades. The galaxy thinks they know us. They think we're weak. But we have surprises waiting for them. Big surprises." As night fell on Earth, billions of humans looked up at the stars. For the first time in history, they all shared a secret. Their planet, long thought to be a cosmic backwater, was about to shock the universe. In the depths of space, the Emperor's diplomatic ship entered lightspeed, racing towards Earth. They expected an easy mission. They didn't know they were flying into a trap that would change the galaxy forever. The stage was set. Earth had made its move. Now, the galaxy would have to respond. and nothing would ever be the same again. The sleek diplomatic ship of the Galactic Empire dropped out of lightspeed near Jupiter. Its silver hull gleamed in the distant sunlight. Inside, Ambassador Zork straightened his ceremonial robes. He had done this 1,000 times before. Go to a planet, show them how small they were, and make them fall in line. Easy. We're entering the Sol system, Your Excellency, the pilot said. Zork nodded. Good. These humans will learn their place soon enough. As they passed Jupiter, alarms suddenly blared. The ship shook violently. What's happening? Zork shouted. The pilot's eyes widened in fear. Something's pulling us off course. Outside, a swarm of tiny machines surrounded the ship. They looked like silver dust, but they moved with purpose. The swarm pushed the ship towards Earth, ignoring the engine's attempts to break free. In the Global Defense Center on Earth, General Chen watched the screens with a small smile. Looks like our nanobots work perfectly, she said. President Rodriguez nodded. Let's hope the rest of the plan goes as smoothly. Back on the ship, Ambassador Zork was furious. Contact these primitive humans immediately, he ordered. The communication officer tried, but all he got was static. They're blocking our signals, sir. As they neared Earth's orbit, the ship's systems started failing one by one. Lights flickered, gravity wavered, and the engines died completely. Impossible, Zork whispered. This level of technology, it couldn't be from Earth, could it? Suddenly, a massive hologram appeared in front of their ship. It showed a human woman in a military uniform, General Chen. Greetings, representatives of the Galactic Empire, she said, her voice calm but firm. You were warned not to enter our system. This is your only chance to leave peacefully. Zork puffed up with anger. How dare you? Do you know who we are? We represent the Emperor himself. Chen's expression didn't change. We know exactly who you are, and we don't care. You have 1 minute to turn around, or we will be forced to destroy your ship. The crew looked at Zork in panic, but the ambassador was too proud to back down. You're bluffing, he said. You don't have the power to. He never finished his sentence. A beam of bright blue light shot out from the moon, hitting the ship with pinpoint accuracy. In a flash of blinding light, the pride of the Galactic Diplomatic Corps simply disappeared. In the defense center, the room was silent. Then President Rodriguez spoke softly. Did we just destroy them? General Chen shook her head. No, sir. The teleportation beam worked as planned. They're currently in a holding cell in our lunar base, a bit shaken up, but alive. On the moon, Ambassador Zork and his crew found themselves in a stark white room. They were confused, scared, and most of all, shocked. How could Earth, a planet that hadn't even colonized its own star system, have technology like this? Back in the galactic capital, the Emperor received the news of his ship's disappearance. His blue face turned dark with rage. Prepare the fleet, he roared. We will crush this insignificant planet. But as the Imperial fleet began to mobilize, reports started coming in from all over the galaxy. The footage of the Earth's defense system destroying the diplomatic ship had gone viral. Planets that had been under the Empire's thumb for centuries watched in awe as tiny Earth stood up to the galactic bullies. On the desert world of Zargax, the tentacled creatures cheered. On Luminara, the light beams glowed brighter with excitement. Across the stars, hope began to flicker in the hearts of oppressed species. Ambassador Xlik of the Trixian Empire watched all of this with growing interest. He sent a secret message to his homeworld. Earth is more than it seems. They may be the ally we've been waiting for. As news spread, the Galactic Empire found itself facing something it had never experienced before. Fear. For the first time in millennia, they weren't the most powerful force in the galaxy. And on Earth, as humans celebrated their first victory, they knew this was just the beginning. The real test was yet to come. But for now, they had shown the galaxy that humanity was not to be underestimated. In his holding cell on the moon, Ambassador Zork stared out at the blue marble of Earth. He finally understood the human phrase he had dismissed earlier. Don't judge a book by its cover. Earth, it seemed, had many more pages to reveal. As the galaxy buzzed with news of Earth's defiance, a secret meeting was taking place deep under the Rocky Mountains. In a high-tech room, world leaders gathered around a table. They were about to reveal the truth behind Earth's sudden rise to power. Dr. Emily Wong, head of Earth's Science Division, stood up. She looked tired but proud. "It's time we shared our story," she said, pressing a button on the table. A hologram appeared, showing a crashed alien ship. 50 years ago, Dr. Wong explained, this ship crashed in the Gobi Desert. It changed everything. The room was silent as they watched scenes from the past. Scientists working day and night, strange alien tech being studied, breakthroughs happening one after another. "We reverse-engineered their technology," Dr. Wong continued. "But we did more than just copy it. We improved it." The hologram changed, showing the development of Earth's advanced weapons and ships. "We built in secret, always preparing for this day." In another part of the facility, General Chen was briefing her top commanders. "Our biggest advantage," she said, pointing to a screen, "is our eye-controlled nanoswarms." The screen showed billions of tiny robots, each smaller than a grain of sand. They can form any shape, adapt to any situation. They're our shield and our sword. Meanwhile, in New York, the United Earth Council was in session. Representatives from every nation sat together, united in purpose. Council leader Amina Khamenei spoke passionately. "For decades, we've put aside our differences. We've worked together in secret, knowing that one day we'd have to stand up to the galaxy." In orbit around Earth, hidden satellites activated. They weren't just defense systems. They were the most advanced space-time manipulation devices ever created. Back in the mountain facility, Dr. Wong revealed their greatest achievement. "We've developed technology that can bend the fabric of space-time itself," she said, her voice filled with awe. The hologram showed a demonstration. A ship disappeared from one point in space and instantly appeared in another. "This is how we teleported the alien diplomats to the moon," Dr. Wong explained. "And it's just the beginning of what we can do." As the meeting continued, we see glimpses of Earth's diverse population. In Tokyo, a young girl looks up at the stars, knowing her world has changed forever. In Lagos, a street artist paints a mural of Earth standing up to alien ships. In Rio de Janeiro, people dance in the streets, celebrating their planet's newfound strength. But not everyone on Earth was happy. In a dimly lit room in London, a group of people met in secret. "We should use this power to conquer the galaxy," one man said. "Why stop at defense?" This group, calling themselves Humanity First, believed Earth should dominate, not just protect itself. Their secret meetings would soon become a problem for Earth's united front. In space, on the moon base, Ambassador Zork and his crew were learning some hard truths. They watched videos of Earth's history, of wars and struggles, but also of great achievements and unity. Zork turned to his guard, a young human soldier. "Why show us this?" he asked. The soldier smiled. "So you understand. We're not just some weak species you can push around. We've fought our own battles. We've united our world. And now, we're ready for the galaxy." As night fell across Earth, billions of humans looked up at the stars with new eyes. They knew now that they weren't alone in the universe, but they also knew they were ready. In her office, General Chen looked at a photo of her grandmother, who had been one of the first scientists to study the crashed alien ship. "We did it, Grandma," she whispered. "We're safe now." But even as she said it, alarms began to blare. The long-range sensors had picked up something massive heading towards Earth. The Galactic Empire's retaliation was coming. Dr. Wong rushed into the room, her face pale. "They're here," she said, "and they've brought an armada." General Chen straightened her uniform. "Then it's time to show them what we can really do," she said, her voice strong and determined. As the first signs of the Imperial fleet appeared in the sky, Earth prepared for the biggest battle in its history. The secret was out. Now, it was time to fight. The sky above Earth turned dark as thousands of Imperial ships appeared. They looked like angry metal wasps, ready to sting. On the flagship, the Galactic Emperor himself stood, his 4 arms crossed. "Crush them," he ordered. Back on Earth, in the Global Defense Center, alarms were blaring. General Chen ran to the main control room. "Status report," she shouted. A young officer looked up from his screen, his face pale. "It's bad, ma'am. We count over 10,000 enemy ships. They're everywhere." President Rodriguez entered the room, looking worried. "Can we win this?" he asked quietly. General Chen's face was hard. "We have to," she replied. "Activate all defense systems and get me Dr. Wang." Outside, in space, the battle began. Imperial ships fired huge lasers at Earth, but they hit an invisible shield. The nano-swarms were working, forming a protective bubble around the planet. Dr. Wang's voice came over the comm. "The shield is holding, but it won't last forever," she warned. General Chen nodded. "Then it's time for a counterattack. Launch Operation Slingshot." Hidden bases on the moon suddenly opened up. Hundreds of Earth ships flew out, surprising the Imperial fleet from behind. These weren't normal ships. They were covered in the same nano-machines that protected Earth. The Earth ships could change shape mid-flight, dodging enemy fire easily. They fired back with weapons the Empire had never seen before. Beams that didn't just damage ships, but teleported chunks of them away. In New York, the United Earth Council watched the battle on giant screens. People in the streets below looked up, seeing flashes of light in the sky. Some prayed, some cheered. Everyone knew this was the most important day in Earth's history. Back in space, the Emperor was getting angry. "How is this possible?" he roared. "They're just humans." His admiral, nervous, replied, "Your Majesty, their technology. It's beyond anything we've seen. We're losing ships fast." The Emperor's eyes narrowed. "Then it's time to use our secret weapon. Prepare the planet killer." On Earth, Dr. Wang was working frantically in her lab. She looked up as an assistant ran in. "Doctor, we've detected a massive energy buildup in the enemy flagship." Dr. Wang's eyes widened. "They're going to try to destroy the whole planet," she whispered. Then she stood up straight. "Get me General Chen. It's time to use the Nexus device." In the control room, General Chen received the message. She looked at President Rodriguez, who nodded grimly. "Do it," he said. General Chen pressed a big red button. In that moment, every human on Earth felt a strange tingling. In space, something incredible happened. A huge swirling portal opened up right in front of Earth. It was big enough to swallow the whole planet. The Emperor watched in shock as Earth, along with all its ships, simply disappeared into the portal. "What just happened?" he screamed. His admiral, looking at the sensors, said in a shaky voice, "Your Majesty, Earth has moved. It's now on the other side of the galaxy." Back on Earth, now in a new part of space, people looked up at an unfamiliar sky. Dr. Wang's voice came over global channels. "Don't panic. We've successfully transported Earth to a safe location using the Nexus device. We're out of the Empire's reach, for now." In the Global Defense Center, there was a moment of stunned silence. Then cheers erupted. They had done the impossible. They had moved an entire planet. General Chen allowed herself a small smile. "Good job, everyone. But this isn't over. The Empire will come looking for us. And when they do, we'll be ready." As the Earth forces regrouped and people began to understand what had just happened, a new feeling spread across the planet. It wasn't just relief at surviving. It was pride. Earth had stood up to the greatest power in the galaxy, and won. The Galactic Empire had indeed struck back. But Earth, Tiny, insignificant Earth had struck harder. The galaxy would never be the same again. News spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Earth, a tiny blue planet, had defeated the mighty Galactic Empire. Even more incredibly, it had moved itself across the galaxy to escape. Every alien species was talking about it. On the planet Zargax, tentacled creatures gathered around giant screens. They watched replays of Earth ships outsmarting Imperial forces. If Earth can stand up to the Empire, why can't we? One Zargaxian asked. Others nodded in agreement. In the crystal cities of Luminara, light beings flickered with excitement. Earth's technology is amazing, they said to each other. We should learn from them. All across the galaxy, planets that had been under the Empire's control for centuries began to rebel. They had seen that the Empire wasn't invincible after all. Back on the Imperial capital, things were not good. The Emperor paced in his throne room, all four of his arms clenched in fists. How could this happen? He roared. We are the Galactic Empire. We cannot be defeated by monkeys. His advisors cowered before him. One brave soul spoke up. Your Majesty, perhaps we underestimated the humans. Their technology seems to be. He never finished. The Emperor's eyes glowed, and the advisor turned to dust. Find Earth, the Emperor growled. I don't care how long it takes. Find them and destroy them. But finding Earth wasn't easy. The planet had disappeared from all star charts. The Empire sent scout ships to every corner of the galaxy, but Earth was nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, on Earth's new home in a distant part of the galaxy, things were changing fast. The United Earth Council met to discuss their next steps. We've proven we can defend ourselves, said Council Leader Kamani. But now we have a bigger responsibility. Other worlds are looking to us for help. General Chen nodded. We're getting messages from dozens of planets. They want our help to fight the Empire. Dr. Wong spoke up, and many are offering to trade technology. They're fascinated by what we've achieved. President Rodriguez looked thoughtful. We wanted to be left alone. But now we have the chance to make the galaxy a better place. What should we do? As they debated, Ambassador Xlik of the Trixian Empire arrived on Earth. He was the first alien to officially visit the planet in its new location. Xlik met with Earth's leaders. His green skin shimmered with excitement. My people have long waited for someone to challenge the Empire, he said. We want to be your allies. This was a big moment for Earth. They had to decide, stay isolated or join the galactic community. While the leaders talked, ordinary people on Earth were adjusting to their new reality. In Tokyo, a young girl looked up at the strange new stars and wondered what alien children were like. In Lagos, artists painted murals of Earth ships battling the Empire. In Rio de Janeiro, scientists excitedly studied data from their new part of the galaxy. But not everyone was happy. The Humanity First group grew stronger. They argued that Earth should use its power to rule the galaxy, not help it. We defeated the Empire, they said. We should replace it. This idea was dangerous, and Earth's leaders knew it. They had to make a decision soon, or risk dividing their own people. As days passed, more alien ships arrived near Earth. Some were refugees, fleeing the Empire's anger. Others were diplomats, seeking alliances. A few were even Imperial loyalists, hoping to negotiate. Earth had become the center of a new galactic drama. The planet that had wanted to ban the galaxy was now the galaxy's biggest story. In her lab, Dr. Wong worked on new inventions. We moved our planet once, she said to her team. Now let's figure out how to help others do the same. General Chen, watching Earth's space fleet grow with new alien allies, smiled. We wanted to be left alone, she said. Instead, we've started a revolution. As the sun set on Earth's new home, President Rodriguez looked out at the unfamiliar stars. He knew that tomorrow they would have to make big decisions. The galaxy was waiting, and Earth's next move would shape the future for everyone. The United Earth Council chamber was packed. Leaders from every nation sat around a massive round table. The air was tense. Today, they would decide Earth's future in the galaxy. President Rodriguez stood up. "We face a choice," he said. "Do we stay isolated, or do we step onto the galactic stage?" The room erupted in debate. Some wanted to help other planets fight the Empire. Others feared getting involved would bring more danger to Earth. General Chen spoke next. "We have the strongest military in the galaxy now. We could become the new superpower." This idea made some people cheer, but others looked worried. Dr. Wong shook her head. "Power isn't everything. We need to think about the consequences of our actions." Outside the council chamber, crowds had gathered. People from all over Earth watched on big screens. Everyone had an opinion. In a park in New York, a group held signs saying, "Help our alien friends." Nearby, another group chanted, "Earth first. Stay out of space politics." The debate wasn't just happening on Earth. On the moon base, Ambassador Zork and the other alien prisoners watched the discussions. Zork turned to a guard. "Your people are wise to be careful," he said. "The galaxy is a dangerous place." Back in the council chamber, Ambassador Xlik of the Trixian Empire was invited to speak. "Earth has a chance to create a better galaxy," he said. "Many worlds look to you now for hope." As the leaders argued, Dr. Wong's team made a breakthrough. They rushed into the council chamber with exciting news. "We found a way to share our technology safely," Dr. Wong announced. "We can help other worlds defend themselves without giving away all our secrets." This news changed everything. Now Earth could help without becoming the new empire. But just as the mood in the room was lifting, alarms started blaring. General Chen rushed to a computer. Her face turned pale. "We've detected Imperial probe droids," she said. "They're searching nearby star systems. It's only a matter of time before they find us." The room went quiet. Then Council Leader Kamani stood up. "We can't hide forever," she said. "Maybe it's time we take the fight to the Empire." This bold statement shocked everyone. Take the fight to the Empire. Was Earth ready for that? As the Council debated this new idea, the Humanity First group was busy. In secret bases around the world, they were planning something big. Their leader, a man named Marcus, looked at his team. "Earth's leaders are weak," he said. "They want to help aliens instead of ruling them. We'll show them the true path to power." Unknown to Earth's leaders, Marcus and his group had stolen some of the advanced technology. They were building their own ships and weapons. Back in the council chamber, the debate raged on. Should Earth build a giant space station as a new home? Should they create an alliance with friendly alien races, or should they use the Nexus device to hide the whole planet again? As they talked, Dr. Wong looked worried. She whispered to General Chen, "Some of our tech is missing from the labs. I think we have a security breach." General Chen's eyes narrowed. "I'll look into it," she said. "But let's not panic the council yet." Outside, the alien ships orbiting Earth watched and waited. Some came in peace, hoping for alliance. Others had hidden weapons, ready for any opportunity. In his lab on Zargax, a young alien scientist named Zilks worked day and night. "If I can combine our biotechnology with Earth's energy systems," he muttered, "we might create something the galaxy has never seen." Ideas like this were popping up all over the galaxy. Earth's victory had sparked a new age of innovation and hope. As the sun set on another day in Earth's new home, President Rodriguez looked out at the stars. He knew that whatever they decided, nothing would ever be the same. Earth had wanted to ban the galaxy, but instead, they had become its center. The next few days would shape the future of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy. And somewhere out there, the Empire was coming. The real test was yet to begin. The day had finally come. Earth was ready to announce its decision to the galaxy. Billions of beings on countless worlds waited anxiously. In the Grand Hall of the United Earth Council, President Rodriguez stood before a sea of cameras. Alien diplomats from 100 worlds watched from special booths. "People of Earth, People of the galaxy, Rodriguez began, we choose to engage. We will not hide, nor will we conquer. Instead, we offer a new path, partnership. The hall erupted in cheers. On screens across the galaxy, aliens of all shapes and sizes celebrated. But the joy was short-lived. Alarms blared throughout the building. General Chen rushed to the president's side. Sir, we have multiple incoming wormholes. It's the Imperial fleet. Outside, the sky filled with thousands of Empire ships. The Emperor's voice boomed across all frequencies. Surrender now, or be destroyed. This was the moment Earth had prepared for. General Chen gave the order, activate the Guardians. Suddenly, massive shapes rose from Earth's oceans and burst from underground bases. They were giant robots, each the size of a mountain, powered by Earth's most advanced tech. In space, Earth's fleet, joined by allies from across the galaxy, moved to engage the Empire. The battle that would decide the fate of the galaxy had begun. As ships clashed in space, something unexpected happened on Earth. Marcus, the leader of Humanity First, launched his secret plan. Stolen ships rose from hidden bases, attacking both Earth's forces and the Empire. The galaxy will bow to humanity, Marcus declared. Now Earth faced enemies on two fronts, but they weren't alone. Ambassador Xlick's voice came over the comms. Earth stood up for us. Now we stand with Earth. Ships from dozens of alien worlds jumped in, joining the fight. In her lab, Dr. Wong worked frantically. The Nexus device can end this, she said to her team. But we need more power. That's when Zilx, the young Zargaxian scientist, stepped forward. I think I can help, he said, holding up a glowing crystal. This combined your energy tech with our biocrystals. It might be enough. As the battle raged, President Rodriguez made a daring move. He opened a direct channel to the Emperor. This war is pointless, he said. Join us in building a better galaxy, or face defeat. The Emperor laughed. You dare to threaten me. But there was fear in his eyes. He could see his fleet falling to Earth's superior tech and determined allies. In a desperate move, the Emperor ordered the use of his planet killer weapon. A massive energy beam shot towards Earth, but it never hit. The Guardians, Earth's giant robots, moved in perfect sync. They created an energy shield that not only stopped the beam but reflected it back. The Emperor's flagship was vaporized instantly. With their leader gone, the Imperial fleet fell into chaos. Many ships surrendered. Others fled. Marcus and his Humanity First forces, seeing their plan fail, tried to escape. But Earth's allies caught them easily. As the dust settled, Earth and its allies emerged victorious. The galaxy was free from the Empire's tyranny. In the days that followed, representatives from worlds across the galaxy met on Earth. They formed a new galactic alliance, with Earth as a key member, but not its ruler. President Rodriguez, speaking at the first meeting of the alliance, said, "We once tried to ban the galaxy from our world. Now we are part of a greater community. We will face the future together." Dr. Wong and Zilx announced the creation of a new galactic science academy, where beings from all worlds could share knowledge safely. General Chen, standing with alien military leaders, declared, "Our strength is not in conquest, but in protection. We will defend the peace we've won." As news of the alliance spread, celebrations erupted across the galaxy. On Earth, humans looked to the stars with new eyes. They were no longer alone, no longer hiding. In a school in Tokyo, a young girl smiled as she sat next to a young Zargaxian in class. In Lagos, humans and aliens worked together to build new advanced cities. In Rio de Janeiro, a mixed team of scientists prepared for the first faster-than-light journey to explore beyond known space. Earth had found its place in the galaxy, not as conquerors, not as victims, but as partners in a grand cosmic adventure. The future was bright, full of challenges and opportunities, and it all began with a simple message. Earth bans Galactic Empire. No entry allowed.